Hello, my name is Faisal Khan. I want to discuss an idea that we've been talking about for a long time. We've had many inquiries about it, but I really haven't seen someone go and execute it and build it. The idea revolves around using money transfer operators worldwide, small and medium, and connecting them and using them as a cash payout location. What do I mean by that? Let's say you're someone living in Chicago and you're traveling to Paris for business or work, what have you. You arrive in Paris, and you want to get some money. You want some euros. So you go to an ATM, you put your card in, and you know what you get charged. We all know that it is going to be horrendous. There's like 3.5%, sometimes 4.5%, sometimes 5%, and the FX rate isn't all that good, etc. And you have no choice because that is what it is, and you need cash. And despite all the COVID-19 situation, etc., people still use cash. People will still be using cash, etc. Whilst the digital realm is going to be great, but cash is still going to be a necessity. So if you want cash, the ATM is a very expensive option. But what if you could go to an app and see, oh, there's a money transfer operator store not far from here. You could go there. And because they collect money all day long, so they're sitting on a vat of cash, and they could pay you out, and they could only charge 1% or 1.5%. Now, a 1.5% is a whole lot better than, let's say, charging 4 or 4.5% at an ATM, etc. And this is very easy. You could be pre-KYC'd, or you could do a basic KYC and just show your identity or your passport document, etc. And they'd be okay with it. So it is taking small and individual and small money transfer operators and stitching them together into a larger fabric where you become a payout network. The challenge here is obviously working with these small operators, getting them on board on the technology, giving them an app to use, because chances are they don't have an API, they don't have an IT system, etc. Or if they do, it's not as open and accessible as how you would like it to be. The easier thing would be to give them an app to use, and this would be an MTO or the owner of the payout or the point of presence app. And you can say, okay, my daily limit that I can pay out is 5,000 euros, and I will not pay more than 500 euros per location. Here is the rate I will charge, 1.5%, and that's it. And if I'm a visiting tourist or a visitor to your city, I can go to the app, I can find the nearest location, just like you do on the Uber or anything else. You find the nearest restaurant or where the nearest car is, etc. I'd find the nearest point where I can get money out. It might be a few, walking distances or maybe a short taxi ride, but hey, it's a whole lot better. In the tourist season, this is one of the most important things to do, being able to go and get it. And Europe has got very small, very distinct, very unique money transfer operators. I feel that there is a very good value proposition. If you actually build it, they will come. If some company tomorrow wants to access your cash point network that you have built, essentially, they would want access to your API. They would love to have an access to your API, one access to an API, and they suddenly have access to maybe, 20 countries or 20 cities in Europe, and, connected with over, 400 or 500 or maybe 1,000 points of presence for cash payouts. Well, those would be fantastic. So I think if you build such a system, eventually we will find a cure for COVID-19. Eventually, yes, the way we behave and move around will be different, but people have short memories. I hope and I feel and I think everything will get better. And on the road to recovery, a year or a year and a half from now, tourism is going to go back up. People are going to come in from Asia, from South Asia, from China, from Africa, from Latin America into Europe. And why am I saying Europe? Because Europe is an easier way. I think Europe is the low-hanging fruit. A lot of people are flocking into Europe, and cash payouts over there are very expensive because, if I'm from Pakistan or from Bangladesh or from Sri Lanka or from Ghana, Gambia, Vietnam, and I use my ATM card at an ATM, I get charged a horrendous rate. There's a cross rate that I have to deal with usually, and the rate that Visa or MasterCard and the ATM operator are charging is so confusing. I don't know if I should accept the transaction in my native home currency or in euros. If I need to do it on this rate or on this rate, what is the actual eventual rate that I'm going to get? All those things are not clear. And operators like Travelex that have hundreds and thousands of ATMs rip you off. They actually do. And other Euronet, etc., rips you off. And there are many other ATM operators that literally rip you off. And they are tourist traps that take money from you and charge you a pretty penny. So I feel that there's a huge case for someone to go and build an app that brings in all the money transfer operators together, that's provides a standard operating procedure of how they're going to bring them in, how they're going to loop them in, how they're going to make them into a business case, and then present this API to others who can utilize it. If you would like, what do you think of the idea? Let me know in the comments below. If you would like to discuss it more from a business point of view, there's a contact form in the description below. Do let me know. There's also a WhatsApp number. You can contact me on that for business purposes only. Anyways, till next time, this is Faisal Khan signing off.